All right, ladies and gentlemen, we have another one for you. We got Larry Bird, the greatest 3-1 comeback in NBA history, the underdog story. We got the underdog story. So, oh man, this is going to be a good one. I know the previous one I did, there was audio issues, but this time around, shout out to Prime Larry Bird, man. Great channel. If you guys haven't done so, subscribe and let's get the party started.
If anybody ever tries to convince you that a great player couldn't win a title in his first 5 years because he was too young or didn't have enough help, tell them that Larry Bird took the second worst team in the league to an NBA title in only 2 years. No excuses. Because with Larry Bird, it wasn't just about basketball. It was about pride, grit, and proving to the world what he and the Celtics stood for. Because that same year, as the Celtics were down 3-1 in the Eastern Conference Finals, Larry Bird pulled off the greatest comeback in NBA history. Larry Bird had an unshakable confidence from the first day he stepped foot in the league.
When I walk in the first day of camp, them guys were on the floor stretching, and here comes the white savior, here comes this, here comes that. I sort of enjoyed it because I knew I was going to battle them all day.
And after all the hype that Larry Bird had coming out of college, he immediately silenced one teammate that was his biggest doubter, Cedric Maxwell, who was the Celtics' leading scorer the year before Larry arrived. And on the very first day of practice, Cedric Maxwell got a glimpse of just how great Larry Bird was going to be in the league.
I was the first guy really to guard Larry. And I remember I was like you. I was the king of the mountain, man. I was averaging about 20 and 10 when Bird got here.
Maxwell has another rebound and another 2 points and a chance for a three-point play. And this crowd loves it. As look at this, 28 points and 15 rebounds.
Yeah. So I'm thinking he's coming to this building. I'm looking at him, but we have the first practice. I'm thinking like, this ought to be a piece of cake. Yeah. Guy don't look fast, don't look good. Yeah. I'm about to do something to him. I'm thinking, oh, he's slow, he can't get off a shot. He's not that strong. This is gonna be a layup. Bam, knocks down a jump shot. Okay, maybe that was luck. Gets the ball again. Bam, knocks down another jump shot. Now I'm thinking like, okay, hey, you know what? I'm gonna D this guy up. I'm gonna show him his life. 20 feet away, bam. 25 feet away, bam. My mind just goes to the, damn, this white guy can play. Boy, I'm telling you what, it changed my opinion about racism in this world. Because I remember he scored the first basket jet on me, but as I proceeded, he kept going further and further and further away. And by the end of the practice, it finished. The first black person I said, you know what? That fucking white guy can play down there. Then every other person of color would ask me when the Celtics got ready to play, they're like, yo, man, how's this kid Bird? You about to find out. You about to find out.
The Celtics were the second worst team in the league before Larry arrived, winning only 29 games. But even as a rookie, Larry Bird led that exact same Celtics team to a 61-21 record. That 32-game turnaround still stands as the greatest single-season turnaround in NBA history. And what's most impressive is he did it with no Robert Parrish, no Kevin McHale, no Dennis Johnson, Bill Walton, Scott Webben, or Danny Ainge. It was all Larry Bird.
19 thus far.
Hold on. Is this legit? So he won before that trade happened with Parrish and McHale. Second year in the league? Come on, man. This is the thing. There's certain generational players that are impactful off the gate. Larry Bird is one of them. And you know, the funny thing is, Larry Bird's all around game would mesh with wherever he goes, whatever team. If he didn't get drafted by the Boston Celtics, his all around play. He doesn't care to have the highest point average or a rebound. He'll do anything to win, which what makes it really, really good. Especially have teammates around you. Him being unselfish too, to pass the ball. Just be ready. He's gonna find you. Not too many players have that, especially the mentality, the poise, polished. He was putting in that work. No matter if it was college, high school, even growing up playing with his brothers. That's crazy.
Bird comes away with it. Up to Carr. Bird again.
Look at the hustle.
45 seconds first half. And here comes the Birdman. He is now 5 of 5. Shot clock. Ford to Bird. Bryant couldn't do anything with it. Taken up by Archibald. And look at the hustle. I believe Archibald.
Look at the hustle.
Look at Bird. Holy cow.
Even if he was gonna save it, if he wasn't gonna save it, he still hustled to, man. You don't teach that. I've learned about, you don't teach that kind of effort. It's either you have it or you don't. It's either you have it or you don't.
Wow. Boy, I tell you, that doesn't epitomize this basketball team.
But this should have been no surprise to anyone, because at every level, Larry Bird proved the doubters wrong. Because in college, he took a mid-major Indiana State to 33-0 before facing what turned out to be his greatest rival, Magic Johnson, in the NCAA title game. But here's how Magic Johnson recalls meeting Larry Bird the summer before that game.
The summer before, they had the WIT tournament.
Okay.
And they brought all the best college players together
Okay.
to play against the world.
Okay.
And man, I see this guy, blonde hair, I said, all right, let me see if he can play.
Okay.
Man, I'm sitting there watching him shoot Shannon. He must have made 30 in a row all net.
So he was Steph Curry before Steph.
Yeah.
He was Steph Curry. Yeah, before Steph Curry.
This dude can play.
Okay.
Then we got in the game. Jack Gibbons was player of the year that year.
Right.
He tore him up, man. And Larry Bird was taking it to him. I said, oh, man. I'm calling back home saying, oh, he for real. He for real. This
Right.
dude, Larry Bird?
Right.
Oh, he got it. He
Right.
can play. He's dominating Jack
Right.
Gibbons. And they said, no way. I said, oh, yeah, he's dominating.
I think our first game was in Kentucky. We got about a 10, 12-point lead. Man, they put us in. Went to 25, 30, just that fast.
Fast break again. 3-on-2. Griffin. Look at that steal.
Look at the defense.
Take us out. The lead go back down, put us back in.
That's Bird and Johnson.
The show start again.
When you play with Magic, there's just something about it. You want to make that extra pass. You want to get that rebound and start to break.
We came down a couple times. I go behind my back, no look to him. He no look back to me. And I'm laying it up. I'm saying, oh, man.
Here's that last play. Magic Johnson going in. Drops off to Bird. Bird
Hey.
lets it back off. Inside to Johnson. Super basket.
Do we know how fun it would be? Yo, the hypothetical, if they played together, it would be, it's sick. They would just dominate. They're dominating individually. One with the Lakers, one with the Celtics. But seeing them play together, dangerous. Dangerous. They are dangerous together. They both have similar play styles all around. Imagine both of them averaging triple doubles in a game playing together. Not averaging, but their stats, if that's even possible. The fluidity of which they're playing and this highlights. I don't know if they had X amount of practices together. There's certain things, there's certain players which you play with. You don't have to communicate verbally, but non-verbal communication, you can flow with that person. And that's what you're seeing right with these two. That's sick.
Guy got game.
Little did Magic know that he would meet Larry Bird again, but this time it would be in the national title game.
Here we go, 6-7 months later.
Right.
We're playing in the NCAA championship game. He's player of the year. Sports Illustrated, all the magazines he on the cover.
Right.
And I said, wow. And they're 33-0.
33-0.
Man, I said, oh.
And they hadn't been ranked since.
That's right.
And they weren't ranked before.
Yes, that's right.
It is Indiana State against Michigan State. I'm Bryant Gumbel, and the fans here are going bananas.
That 1979 NCAA title matchup between Larry Bird and Magic Johnson is still the highest rated basketball game ever played. Unfortunately, for Larry Bird, it was one of his worst because Michigan State double-teamed him all night long, and since Larry was largely a one-man show, Indiana State had no answer.
Look at the pressure around him. 2-3 men, and he's short. Bird, way short. Bird hanging, can't score. Larry Bird has had a cold shooting night. Like a shot. Reload is the pass. It's all over. Michigan State University, national champions, 1979.
Magic, not only were you a leader on offense, I thought you did a great job on Larry Bird in the zone denying him the ball.
Yes, Coach gave us a good game plan to go against Larry Bird, and all we had to do was go out and do it. That's what we done.
And congratulations, Super Bowl game.
Bro, that's the easiest game plan you could, bro. That's the easiest game plan to have coming into a game, man. They'll just double team their best player. Just double team their best player to get him out the game, to get him out the flow. And you can see that Larry Bird's getting double team how he's playing the game. There's certain shots that's being forced, certain actions that's being forced. That's the easiest game plan. Damn. No disrespect to, hey man, 33-0, that's an accomplishment. Taking Indiana State. It's like no matter where he goes, that impact is out of this world. The way he's able to impact a team, organization, and players around him. That's crazy.
It still hurts. And when you win 33 in a row and you walk into a game, you never know what to expect. But I expect to win. We didn't win.
Larry Bird said this was his most painful loss ever. And when he got to the NBA, he took that pain out on the entire league. Not only did he play with a level of toughness that the NBA had never seen before, but Larry Bird's trash-talking stories are that of legend.
Their main man was Tom Chambers, and Chambers was guarding Larry. And so in the jump ball circle, Larry walked through myself and Chambers, and then came back and told Chambers, I know you're guarding me, and I want you to know something. There's only one man that can guard me, and that's God. Now think about that for a second. Think about the confidence and the arrogance it takes to make that statement. Think about that for a second. One thing you got to give Larry Bird, he never stopped talking trash. Ever. Ever. Ever.
But is it really trash talking if you're backing it up?
Bird from the corner, his first night. Larry with 16 points. Reggie King. They don't have. Bird is just toying with Chambers, and now Bird answers immediately. As I say, Chambers might as well not be out there. He's picking Larry up. He's pretty much giving him the outside shot. Larry is obliged very
He's
effectively
cooking.
this week, and he's really starting to force his offense.
He's cooking. Ooh.
My goodness. I don't know if he's guarded Bird before, but I'll tell you, if he hasn't, he's going to remember this night for a while. Old Chambers isn't going to get much sleep tonight. He's going to have to have a Larry Bird nightmares.
Even Larry's own teammates could face his wrath. Not many younger people know this, but Hall of Famer Pete Maravich, who holds nearly every major NCAA scoring record, including highest scoring average at 44.2 points per game, was actually teammates with Larry Bird in Larry's rookie year. However, Larry couldn't care less about Pete's NCAA accolades because when these two butted heads, Larry Bird got so disrespectful.
Well, my best story, I think, was probably Pete Maravich and Larry Bird. Pete Maravich is pass the ball to Larry. Pete's man goes down and double teams Larry. Larry puts up a tough shot, and timeout's called, and we come to the timeout, and Pete Maravich looks over, and Larry says, Larry, they're double teaming you, man. You can't force up those kind of shots. And Larry looks up and goes, if you were any damn good, they wouldn't be double teaming me. This is one Hall of Fame.
Yo, to make a statement like that. Oh, that is funny. That's funny.
Another one. I was in shock.
Ouch. Pete Maravich retired at the end of that year, and as a rookie, Larry Bird made the All-Star team.
Here comes the rookie out of Indiana State, who has lived up to his expectations, Larry Bird, and I'm told the other night here in Washington, he put on a clinic. Dantley gave it back, and Kermit Washington, and Bird rebounds, and now it's the East with a fast break.
Behind.
And Larry stayed with the rebound.
When you call playing the whole court, get the rebound, take the pass back up the middle, make that pass, and stay right with it when it right in there. To rebounding, besides strength, is quickness. Good lateral movement.
High. They're using the time inside to Moses. He set himself high with the shot, and he's short. Overtime.
Larry Bird took over on national TV by draining 2 corner shots to take the lead, igniting his reputation as one of the most clutch players in NBA history.
Hot Rod Hundley now has joined us over here at the announce table, and Larry Bird. The scoring table is not yet clear. This is a three-pointer. Yes, it is. And that's a three-pointer. Is Larry Bird. It's back-to-back field goal.
And after that, he pulled off the play of the game in one of the greatest passes of his career.
42-136, three-point try by Sigma is off, and Bird comes out on the move, dishes to Malone. Malone comes up, stayed with it, Sigma with a hand.
That touch pass.
I don't believe he saw George Gervin.
Hey guys, I got some merch. We got some merch in the house. I'm gonna link it down in the description and also in the comment section. These were personally designed by myself, and also I worked with a graphic designer. Here are a couple of mock-ups as well. Jesus, the way, the truth, the life. That design was personally designed by me. Also, another design is this one right here. Jesus is the real king. That was personally designed by myself. This one right here is a personal message to men. We need Jesus. We need masculinity and godly men in the world, because it's going to be a better place. Fathers, husbands, we need order. The broken family is not working. We need to come back to the order, God's design. Here's this one, no pornography. It was an addiction that I dealt with, and I wanted to put it on a t-shirt. Here's this one, love. God is love, and because we love is because from God himself. And here's another one. Here's another design. Fathers matter. I don't care what the government say. Of course, it's another message for broken homes. We don't want broken homes. Here's another one right here, and it'll be in the description box, and it'll also be in the comment section. So let's get back to the video.
That year, Larry Bird finished 4th in MVP voting, won Rookie of the Year, and pissed off his arch nemesis Magic Johnson, which ended up being the greatest individual rivalry in sports history.
We ended up in the 2 most famous, franchises,
Right.
the Celtics and the Lakers, and then his personality was Boston. My personality was Hollywood.
Right.
I mean, they couldn't have scripted this any better.
No. he was rookie of the year. I think you got like 1 or 2 votes.
That's all.
That's all you. I think it was like 32, 33 to like 1 or 2.
No, even more than that. It was 60 something to like 2. I hate to say that too. I gotta say that on TV. And so I was pissed, man. I was mad.
You like, hold on.
Became the first rookie in NBA history to be named Finals MVP.
Yeah.
I was only the 3rd dude ever in NBA history to go from the college championship to the NBA Finals championship. And so I get like 2 votes. And they were 2 LA dudes.
Bias.
I'm like, okay, he's not that much better than me.
Right.
Not 63 to 2.
Right.
But okay, I took it. And I'm glad that we came in together because I had somebody to measure myself to.
Right.
And say, hey, okay, he's great. I can't let him get too far ahead of me. I got to work hard because I want to stay in pace with
How would you?
But what if I told you that there was a rivalry in the 80s that was even bigger than Celtics versus Lakers and even more intense than Celtics versus Pistons? I bet you wouldn't believe me. But for 3 years in a row, the Eastern Conference Finals was a dogfight between the Boston Celtics and the Philadelphia 76ers.
Long before Celtics Lakers, it was Celtics Sixers.
One of the most intense rivalries ever. You see Mark Ivoroni and Larry Bird go at it in this game. Larry asked if he's going to be thrown out, and he decided he's going to get his licks in before he left.
I think in terms of 2 clubs in professional sports and professional team sports, really wanting one another and going after one another's throats, this is definitely the ultimate.
There's Dr. J trying to hold Bird. Bird retaliates, and and look at J hitting Bird as he's being held from behind.
Bro, you got like three players against one.
Time in basketball that I've ever had other than going out and beating the 76ers.
And in 1981, which was only Larry Bird's 2nd year in the league, the Celtics and the 76ers had a battle for the ages in the Eastern Conference Finals in what many people have called the greatest playoff series of all time.
It was the greatest series I've ever played in my opinion, maybe the greatest series leading up to a championship that 2 teams ever had to play.
Larry Bird and the Celtics were facing the MVP of the league, Dr. J, and the Philadelphia 76ers, the team with the best record in the league. And to make matters worse, Boston had not won a single game in Philadelphia in over 3 years because the 76ers were stacked with a team full of Hall of Famers.
Well, start out with the Hall of Famers they had over there. Start out with Dr. J, Bobby Jones. Maurice Cheeks was the starting guard, became a Hall of Famer. Caldwell Jones, the Boston Strangler, Andrew Toney, Daryl Dawkins. Daryl Dawkins was like Shaq, just strong and big, and they were coached well by Billy Cunningham. That's why they were so tough.
Just 1 year earlier, Larry Bird and the Celtics lost in the Eastern Conference Finals to this same 76ers team, sparking a rivalry that would have them battling for Eastern Conference supremacy for the next 6 years.
So in 81, we win the first game up in Boston. Then you guys come back and win game 2.
Erving putting the moves on McHale.
And we play a really tight game down there in Philly, and we lose.
Philadelphia has been magnificent, and that game is over.
We lose game 4, and I'm like, ooh, this isn't good.
6 seconds to go. Boston doesn't call time. Archibald intercepted by Bobby Jones, and the game is over.
It's a tight 1-possession game, and Bobby Jones does what he does, makes a great defensive play. That allowed you guys to win game 4 and go up 3-1.
The dreaded 3-1 deficit. In the history of the entire NBA, teams that go up 3-1 in the best-of-7 series are 258-13. That's a winning percentage of 95.2%. So the chances of Larry Bird and the Celtics coming back to win this series was at 4.8%. And for teams that go down 3-1 and win the championship, their chances drop down to 1.5%. So at this point, to say that Larry Bird was an underdog was an understatement.
I wasn't the type of guy to take stuff for granted. 3-1, it felt good, but it was by no means a foregone conclusion.
A desperate situation for the Celtics. Game number 5 of this Eastern Conference Finals. The Celtics must win 3 straight.
In Game 5, the Celtics were losing by 10 points with only 6 minutes left in the game. And with the season on the line, Larry Bird took matters into his own hands.
Larry going to work offensively. One-handed baseline. An off-balance play by Larry Bird, who does every aspect.
McHale. They're going with their starters as Larry Bird on a turnaround hits the jump shot. Andrew Toney's shot, no good. Bird the rebound. He's taking matters into his own hands, Kevin. McHale, though, with the offensive rebound. He misses. Bird.
Come on, man. Offensive rebound, the effort. Come on, man. This is a blueprint, man. If you're a basketball player, no matter if you're middle school, high school, college, always remember to watch these highlights of Larry Bird and measure your game after that, because being also an all-around player is beneficial to wherever you're going, whatever team, whatever level of basketball you're playing in. But the effort is what matters the most. The offensive rebounds, the hustle. It's going to take you far. He said it best. If you give 100% all the time, you're going to get great results. That right there, taking over the game, I love to see it. I love to see it.
Pointed out Caldwell Jones in there. Going to the hoop. Bird, he could not be denied. Larry Bird brings the Celtics to win 1 point.
This clutch bucket was the last field goal of the game. A defensive stop and a couple of free throws later, Boston won this game by only 2 points.
All right, here it is. 1 second. Boston up by 2. Trying to go to Philly for game 6. Intercepted. It's over. The Boston Celtics, who were down by 6 points with 1:28 to go. But Bird came back in the final crucial moments and did it when he had to do it.
And going in Boston, losing the next game, you had one to play with. But, coming into Philly, it's like, man, you have to feel good coming home.
Coming down to your place, I remember this is it. I mean, game 6, we're going back to Philly.
Oh, it doesn't take long to get caught in this rivalry. I think it's one of the best rivalries in sports. If you go out there and you compete and, you got to play so well to win it. It demands a lot out of you. And when the series is over, I think both teams can look back and say, hey, we gave it our best shot.
They know that they haven't won in 10 tries here at the Spectrum in Philadelphia, and that's why they want to go back to Boston, winning this afternoon.
We got into a dogfight. Back and forth.
Back and forth, exactly.
Back and forth.
The Celtics trying to break a jinx here at the Spectrum in Philadelphia. They need to do it to force Game 7.
By the second half of Game 6, the Celtics were losing by as much as 17 points. But more Larry Bird heroics turned this game into one of the greatest playoff games in NBA history, because Boston stormed back and were willing to fight anyone that stepped in their way, even if you were just a fan in the crowd.
Harris with a turnaround in the lane. No good. Maxwell and Dawkins going at it, and now Maxwell goes into a crowd and goes after a fan. Maxwell goes after a fan, and there's Bedlam in the stands here, and Bill Fish is over there. Someone said something to Maxwell, and he went in with a vengeance.
I got knocked into the crowd, and when I got knocked into the crowd, some guy was saying something to me like, get back in the damn game. So I jumped over the photographer, and then it registered in my mind what he had said. As soon as he said that, I re-jumped back over and went into the stands with a flying forearm. At that time, it galvanized all our players together. It could have been all these people against us, and we were going to go down together. And at that particular point, the great Dave Zinkoff, who was the public address announcer for Philadelphia, comes on when we're down by 17 and says to the crowd, tickets go on sale for the championship game right after this. Oh my God. Everybody looked at each other and went, are you kidding me? This guy already said that. And then it was on like popcorn then. We were down 17, almost before half. By the time we had our foot square in their behind after they were doing the celebration, we were down by only 5 points.
Tiny tries to drive. Bird, rebound.
Yep, look at that effort.
Like a McHale, Bird, Maxwell, ML Carr, and Archibald. Looping shot by Larry Bird. 23 points for Larry Bird, and the Celtics lead 84-83.
As Larry Bird leads the comeback with 25 points, 16 rebounds, and 4 assists, he once again hits the last clutch bucket of the game.
Bird out to Tiny with 8 seconds on the shot clock. Bobby Jones is on him on a defensive switch. Hollins on Bird. Larry Bird shot. Drops for him. Look at that shot.
This shot put the Celtics up by 3 points. One defensive stop and a pair of free throws later helps Boston finally win a game in Philadelphia, something they hadn't done in nearly 3 years.
Dawkins and Caldwell-Jones, and that'll do it. The game is over. Boston has won. Only 3 teams have come back from a 3-1 deficit to force a 7th and win a 7th game. And the first time in 12 games, the Boston Celtics have defeated the Philadelphia 76ers.
Oh, man. When that PA announcer was talking about championship tickets will go on sale, yeah, after the game, yeah, okay, all right, take it personal. That's where you got to channel. You got to channel your villain, that villain side of you, man. Yeah, that fired me up. Used to hear that. It'll fire any competitive person up hearing something like that. Now it's 2-0. Best of 3 series. Now you got one more to go. Things like that only just fires up the underdog team. Tickets go on sale after the game. Okay. So let me drop 40 on you. Come on now.
And after that game, Kevin McHale called what happened next his most favorite moment of his entire career.
Kevin McHale, what is your favorite NBA moment? Ooh. I would say 81, Game 6. We were in Philly, and we were down 3-1, and we won Game 5 in Boston to go 3-2. And we beat them on a last-second play where Tony's driving in, and we get a block, got my hand on the ball, and we win the game. And we go back to Boston, and there's people like there's like I didn't realize that because I'm new to Boston. It's my first year being out there. I come from northern Minnesota, small mining town, played at the University of Minnesota. I didn't realize that Boston and Philadelphia hated each other sports-wise. I mean, hated each other. So we get back that night, and there's people. There's a crowd. I mean, there's people at the airport. And this game, we haven't won anything. We still have Game 7 to go. And they were the whole city was like electric. And then Game 7 in the arena, when I walked in, I got chills because the people were all standing up cheering. 18 minutes before the game, we went out to warm up. There wasn't an empty seat. And they stood the whole game and cheered and yelled and screamed. No dancing girls, no nothing. And Oregon going, and it was the most unbelievable environment you've ever seen. The building shook.
I was at that game. I was at all those games. And Game 7, to this day, is the best basketball game I've ever been to. That was the only game I've been to, I've written about this, where the refs were just like, guys, you settle this. Guys are on the floor every play. There's 3 guys getting knocked down. It was like a rugby match. And I've just never seen a game like that. I don't think that game would happen again. There would have been about 20 flagrant fouls.
Bro, this is the officiating affects the games nowadays. What happened to letting 2 teams battle it out? Whoever comes out on top is declared the winner. Yo, that's dope. This is the basketball that I miss so much, especially growing up. So much growing up, man. Oh, the 80s and 90s, those who've had the privilege, the experience to experience it in person, also on live TV. Shout out to you, man. Whoever you are, shout out to you. The greatest era of basketball, the 80s and the 90s.
Philadelphia 76ers, they have to be wondering about the fact that they had the Celtics put away. And all the Celtics wanted to do was win one at a time. Red Auerbach told me before the game, Kevin, it's not so much saying you got to win 3 games, but to tell your team they have to beat us one more time.
That was the championship game. Whoever won that series between Philly and Boston, and Philly being up 3-1, and you getting them back to Boston for Game 7,
whoever won that particular night, we knew that either one of those teams, Philly or Boston, could beat Houston. So that was the championship game that particular night.
Chris Ford misses from the corner. Larry Bird, the rebound. That's what Boston has done to Philadelphia. Dominate the offensive board. Parrish doing to Dawkins what he did to him, but misses. But Larry Bird,
That hustle. Second chance points.
Tiny to Ford. Larry Bird, three-point play.
If anything could ignite a crowd and ignite a team,
Let's
a
go.
three-point play by the best player is the safest way to do it.
And just like the previous 4 games, Game 7 went down to the wire. And with the tie game with 1 minute left on the clock, Larry Bird does what Larry Bird did the entire series in the clutch.
Erving setting up for something. Fakes. Low into Dawkins. Double team. Dawkins goes in. Misses. Here comes Bird out of the pack.
Bird coming to the left. Stop and pop off the glass. It's gone. Boston leads 91-89. 1 second left. And the pass hits the top of the backboard. And it's over. They came from 3 or 1 down. And they have won the series. It's all over. It's all over. This place is a madhouse.
This game-winning jump shot helped Larry Bird versus a team with 3 Hall of Famers on their roster pull off the greatest 3-1 comeback of all time, because the 1981 Eastern Conference Finals remains the only series in NBA history in which 5 games were decided by 2 points or less. The Celtics won Game 5 by 2 points, Game 6 by 2 points, and Game 7 by 1 point. Each game literally went down to the last second. Now that is the definition of clutch.
Because we did win a lot of 1-2 point games. It just seemed like every time you look up the clock, we had a 1 point lead and there's 1 second on the clock and they had the ball. It was them type of games where all the emotion, all the adrenaline, and everybody was just flowing and everything was just going to perfection at the end of the game. That was probably the best games I ever played in my life. It was a 7-game series and every one of them was just full of excitement.
Yeah.
Here's Kareem, outlet.
Let's get it. Let's get it. We made it to the end, man. That was a dope story, dope video. Shout out to Prime Larry Bird, man. Of course, if you haven't done so, subscribe to the channel, like the video. Man, that was great. That was great to listen to. Larry Bird out of his 2nd year in the league. Number one, he came into the league already polished, already ready to go. He was already ready to make an impact, because when he came in, they won 29 games the year before, and they ended up winning triple the amount. Man, this guy is unbelievable. This guy is unbelievable, man. He's the best all-around player for a reason. He's the best. He's the best all-around player for a reason. Alongside Magic, alongside other great all-around players. But his leadership, his effort. You don't see things like this nowadays. What Bill Simmons said, leaving 2 teams to battle it out. Whoever wins, get on top. The refs, take a step back. All right. Ain't no blowing whistles. Ain't no trying to control the game. Calling technical fouls. All that BS, man. The 80s and 90s, early 2000s. Anything in the David Stern era. Peak basketball. Anything in the David Stern era is peak basketball. You gotta love to see it. Especially, you know what else you love to see? The underdog story. Being down 3-1. Are you gonna call it and just get ready for the next season? Or are you gonna strap up your boots, get the troops ready? Man, Larry Bird's a leader, man. He's a leader. All it takes is one. You take one game at a time. and it's the best of 3 series. They won fair and square too. Hey, that's dope. That's a dope underdog story. That's a story that's going to be told for years and years and generations. Not only that, Larry Bird too. Larry Bird as a player. He's a generational talent too. Not too many players come into the league polished, ready to make an impact on the organization, change the wins around or make a great impact, make your teammates better, or even get to win a championship. That says a lot. Man, we made it to the end of the reaction, man. That was dope. That was a dope story. Shout out to you again, Prime Larry Bird, for the content. And I'll catch you guys on the next one. All right. Peace. Signing out.